begin with, let me give you a brief about Quvae. Quvae Research and Publications serves as a platform to publish research articles in prominent journals and conference proceedings. We help authors publish their research findings in high impact factor journals, promote their work, enhance their reputation, and build a strong scientific profile. With our expertise, we do provide researchers and academicians with customized solutions for publishing and promoting their research findings. Quvae always strives to establish itself as a center of excellence for journal publications, collaborating for innovation, value, and development. We also aim to publish high quality science research field of science, technology, engineering and mathematics, arts and humanities, business and management, and medical science. We assist authors in combating predatory publishing and preserving the scholarly record's integrity, thereby reducing manuscript preparation time and assessing whether the article complies with academic standards. Quvae can make publishing in Scopus indexed journals easier with our expertise, who provides researchers and academicians with customized solutions for writing, publishing, and promoting their research findings. I'd like to welcome our speaker, Dr.Saidna Zulfiqar Bin-Tahir, who is the Director of the Research and Community Service Institution at the Universitas Iqra, Buru, Maluku, Indonesia. He is graduated from Al-Azhar University of Cairo in Arabic language and linguistics, and he also completed his master and doctoral degree from the State University of Makassar in English Education Department and got the short course at Northern Illinois University, USA. He had become a member of Asia TEFL, Asian EFL, International Forum of Researchers in Education, and ADRL. He is a reviewer and editor in some local and international journals who has published more than 70 plus research articles. Once again, I'd like to welcome you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to the moderator and also thanks to the Quvae with research and publications. Thanks to the webinar event committee and also many thanks to all the audiences who participated in this webinar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Dr.Saidna Zulfiqar Bin-Tahir. As mentioned before, that I'm the Director of the Research and Community Service Institution of the Universitas Iqra Buru in Indonesia. And of course, I'm very honored to be here to share a little bit about writing publishable article in reputable journal. As the beginning of my presentation, I'd like to highlight about the research trend. So when we talk about the research trend, it could not be separated from paradigmatic truths. This paradigmatic truths, or sometimes it's called by the word view, or how to view, how to see the phenomena or the problem and the case around us, or the case or the problem occur in our society. So this paradigmatic truth, of course, all people has their own view of the problem or the case. So the different view of people and also the scientists to see the truth of the phenomena or the case and the problem in our society. They try to describe it or to know the phenomena and the problem, or try to verify and explore, also to design or to develop. This aims to give the solution toward the problem or the case so that we can avoid from the problem. The difference of paradigmatic truths, how to see the truth of the phenomena, was the difference point of view of the scientists to see the truth. So it could be seen by the paradigmatic or the school of the scientists. Sometimes we know that the scientists' view of the truth is based on the data or based on the numerical, or sometimes we can see the scientists see the truth about what the meaning or what the truth behind the numerical or behind the data. And also some of the scientists will try to mix or try to combine between numerical, or by combining the numerical and also different view of the scientists to see that the a problem, because the different point of view in how to conduct research. Sometimes we know that the scientists will see the truth from the numerical, and some other will see the truth from the what behind the numeric, or what behind the data. And some others will combine or mix between the numerical and what behind the numeric. And also some scientists will try to develop or try to find the new design or model, or perhaps some expert will combine many or much of method used try to find the solution for the problem. Is know by quantitative or qualitative or mixed method, or research and development, or R&D, and also multi-method. Quantitative method is on the positivism, so they see the truth is what in the numeric, while the qualitative is on the positivism. They see the truth what behind the fact, what they have behind the numeric, while mixed method is on the pragmatic. So they try to combine or to mix between quantitative and qualitative method. And also from the constructivism, they try to design or to develop a new model, a new material, and a new product. So it's called by research and development. While some other did not satisfy with those of the approaches in the research, so they try to combine many or multi-method to find the solution for the fact or for the problem occur in our society. It's called by the scientific method. Scientific, it means that what we try to find is rational, empiric, and also systematic and replicative. Rational, it means that what we try to research is could be accepted by our our ratio, that it is not biased things. While empiric, it means that we can taste it, we can see, we can touch it, what we can find in the fact in our society. And systematic, that means that we have to follow the procedure, certain procedure in the gain or collecting the data till the analysis the data, and also try to make summarize or drawing conclusion to our finding. So this is called by scientific method. We try to describe, we try to know, to verify, to explore, or to design and develop by the scientific procedure that could be replicated by another researchers. So when the further researchers try to follow our procedure, our pace in research, so they will find the same result with our study. So all researchers must be based on the problem. So because the research aims to try to give the solution for the problem. Then the result of our research we will write our research report. Our research report in writing research report, and then we try to publish it. And there is two kinds of article or research result report, kinds of research result report, known by non-research article and also research article. There are two kinds of article. The first is non-research article and the second is research article. Non-research article means that research that we conduct is not based on the field research, but it is based on the library research or review of literature. So this is non-research article. While the article from the research report followed by research article. Research article must be based on the research or the field research. All the research we already conducted, must have its own novelty. So there is no research result without any of novelty, because research, the last or the ending of our research that we try to give solution is called by the novelty of our research. So all research must have its own novelty. The core of the research is novelty, because we try to give the solution to the problem occur in our society for our institution and or organization. And when we try to find the novelty of our research, it's not difficult to find it, because today or for the recent year, there are many applications that we could use to find or to design our novelty from our research. Yeah, we can apply or we can use what called by Phosphore program, Phosphore application to see the novelty, or first we try to find the gap between all the researcher in one field, and then the last things is we will get the novelty of our study. And some other application online, free online, is open knowledge maps. I will suggest you to use this open knowledge map because it is free and online, and it is very easy for the beginner to use this application. So I suggest you, for all the researcher, for all the beginner, try to use or to employ the open knowledge map, because it is very easy one. So here I will uh, I will I will show you here when we try to use open knowledge map, know the gap, and it's too easy for us to gain our novelty of our research. Here is open knowledge map. It is very simple, very easy to apply for the beginner especially, and also perhaps for the expert also. For instance here, when I would like to research about multilingual learning, for instance, I will write here multilingual. Then I will go here to find the result of this program, open knowledgement, to make it easy for me to uh, find the gap between the previous research in this field of study about the multilingual teaching or learning, for instance. So here, the result of open knowledge map you can see in this slide online. So there are many researchers conducted in the field of multilingual. So The bigger cycle one means that many researchers already researched this topic in multilingual, while the smallest one is the less or still little or still few of researchers study about this field in multilingual. So we will try all, or we will start from the small one. So it is will make us it will make easy for us to find the gap between all reviews related study. This application also provided. So for instance here, when I click the biggest one of the cycle here, you will see the result. So this is all study about multilingual, and the other side here, you will find the title of the article, and also you can download the article here because this application provided the PDF file. If you try to download it, so you can download it. Yeah, yeah. This is the translanguaging, the multilingual self-validity. So this is the most topic researched by the researcher in this field. So this is very easy for the beginner especially, and also for the expert, because there is a difference between the application of Sphere and also Open Knowledge Map. Quvae need another application. We need, for instance, we need Mendeley, we need Zotero, and another application to use this Quvae application. But here in Open Knowledge, it's very easy for us to use it online and free, and we can download all the material here. It is already provided PDF file. So for instance, language research for translation in multilingual question and swearing system. So you can download the PDF. You just click the PDF file. So it's already download to your laptop or your mobile phone, Android phone. So it is very difficult. It is very easy for us. It is very easy than the force viewer application. So try this one because it is easy for us. So this is my suggestion for us. Then after trying, after using this open knowledge map, I ensure that you can find the gap between views related study. The gap between views related study will give you will give you a novelty in the last of your research. So just talking about research novelty. Yeah. Next, I will discuss about preparing for the updated journal. When we write our article, research report. So before we finish our writing, or after finishing our writing, we try to find the target of the journal, the targeted journal, and then ask about ourselves. Who am I? Who I am? It means that we have to ask ourselves, what about my education? What about my track record? My track record in writing or in publication. It could be seen from our orchid or high index in Scopus. Yeah, if we have a higher index, high index, so we can find the reputable journal, for instance, quarter one or quarter two or quarter one. But if we has lag index in Scopus or also in Orchid, so we can try reputable journals such quartile 4 or quartile 3. Then we will ask ourselves about our competence. So what is my expertise? What the journal need for the expertise? My expertise in this field of study or not? And then the reputable international journal. Further, I will show you how to find out the reputable international journal in the last of my presentation. And then how many books or how many book chapters that I write and publish. So try to ask ourselves about our competence. Then we look also at the requirement of the journal. We try to read carefully the guideline of the journal, what the style of the journal, now knowing the criteria for the journal or the content need by the journal, and we try to meet the requirement of the journal, and then of course the declaration. This is in preparing our article to be published in targeted journal. So ask about who am I, my competence, and what the journal require for the article and also the content of the research. Next is criteria of reputable journal. So generally, all journal in the world, such as international or national in our country, use the criteria or use the style called by publication style. Yeah, all the world use IMRED, what's called by IMRED. So the body of the article must be consist of the IMRED. IMRED stand for I is introduction, and then method or material, and then result and discussion. So this is IMRED: introduction, method, material, results, and discussion. So all journals need this body generally, but we have to look carefully to all the journal, because every journal has his own publication style. But I can simplify here that all journal need the anatomy or the component of the article should be in the article that we will publish in all the journal in the world. So this is what I can make it in my slides. So the article must be consist of title or abstract and keyword. Here I give an illustration about the flower. So a good article like a beautiful flower. Yeah. When we see a flower and we judge that this flower is beautiful, the first things we see from the flower. Yeah, from the flower itself, its color, its form. Yeah. In the article, we can we can analogy that the flower here as a title, abstract, and keyword of our article. So the title, abstract, and keyword of our article must be interesting and concise. The title must be interested. So when someone read our title, they will ask or they will criticize what the hell of this title means. Yeah. Or some people will ask what the reader means by this title. So this title can make any readers ask themselves about our title. So our title must be interesting. And then the second one is introduction. So we have to introduce the higher up to the low of the flower, we can explain briefly about the background why this flower is beautiful, and uh, the scientific justification of the beautiful and reason or case in this beautiful, and also the gap between the flower, this flower and another flower, and also the benefit of the flower, contribution or output of the flower. So we can start from the up to the down of the flower to explain it briefly, why we judge or why we justify that this flower is beautiful, and why I interested write about the flower, this flower. So it is called by introduction. Further, I will break down one by one of this anatomy. And then the third one is literature review. So we have to write about reviews, related finding, or the grand theory that we use as a basic of our study to see this phenomena, and then flow of stock of scientific events. Yeah. And the fourth is method. We try to write about what design we use in our study, and then object and subject, then procedure in conducting research, in collecting the data, and then how to analyze our technique of collecting the data and how to analyze the data. So we write all those things in our in this part of method. And the fifth is result and discussion. We write the core findings of our study or our research, and then try to interpret the data, elaborating what we find or the result of our study, elaborated with the theory or some previous related findings that we use in our literature review. And then conclusion, if we use the hypothesis, so we give the result of our hypothesis result, and then the advantages of the method or disadvantages and potential and suggestions. Sometimes we call it by the implication of our studies, such as the theoretical implication or methodological implication or managerial implication. And the last thing is about the references. So we write or we use the references based on the journal requirement, the style of the journal requirements, such as using APA or MLA or ISO style or etc. So the journal will give explanation in its guideline about the reference used in this journal. So this is about the anatomy of the article. It is breaking down of the IMRED that generally also used in, or I will convince you that all journal will use this anatomy. Yeah. We next we will talk about the article title. As I mentioned or explained before, that the title must be short, or and must be interested. So, or sometimes we can say that the title must be sexy, because every reader will look or will read our title, and then they will ask themselves, or they will ask their friend, or perhaps they will make some mock about the writer. And then specific or short. yeah, the title, try to make title. Most journal will require the title less than 12 words. So make it short. Then if we have a novelty, we have a novelty after research, we can write novelty in our title. Yeah. Or if we have new innovation based on our research study result, so we can write our new innovation in our title. Also the scope, and then the title must be relevant to the research problem. It means that when, for instance, when we conduct research for the doctoral program, so for instance, we study about online learning in pandemic situation. For instance, this is the title of my dissertation. For instance, the I will research in my dissertation about online learning in COVID-19 pandemic situation. For instance, this is my title of dissertation. After conducting my research, I found that the online learning model in pandemic situation is by applying multi blended learning, for instance. So my novelty or new innovation of my study is by applying multi-blended learning. So I can change my dissertation title into my innovation, my novelty, my result, my research novelty. So I will write my title is uh, multi-blended learning in pandemic COVID-19 situation. Yeah. So it already changed from my dissertation research to my research novelty. So novelty or new innovation of our research study, we can put it in our title. So this will make interested for another people, another reader, see what means by multi-blended learning. Yeah, they will ask and they will interest to read our article. So the article must be interest. So when we have a novelty or new innovation, try to put our new novelty and new innovation in our title. Here I will give you here, for instance, uh, good and less innovative title. Some of researcher will write their title. For instance, here student mathematics literacy analysis in the in thematic learning curriculum 2017. Uh, this article is not interest because when reader read this title, they already know what happened in the end of this result. So try to change our title, make it interested. For instance, I will change this title into mathematical literacy model in thematic learning based on the based on uh, 2013 curriculum. So this is the sample of the title that we could create it, or we can make our title is interested to be read by the reader. So try to simplify, try to make our title is interest, try to make our title is sexy for other readers to try to look the whole of article. At least they will read our abstract. Yeah, at least. At least they will read our abstract, and then the reader will know what the meaning of this title. So this is about the title. Don't write the long title. For instance, if we read our title in thesis or dissertation research, sometimes we put the location or the object of our study. Try to delete the location if location is not interested. For instance, I studied about blended learning in Maluku. So Maluku here is the one province in Indonesia. This province is not interested to be discussed. Why? Because it is one of the remote area. Reader will uh, know the result of our study that we already written in our article. So try to delete the location, research location from our title. But when the location is interest for the reader, try to put our location, our research location in our title. Yeah, in Indonesia, for instance, here one province is interested to be discussed in nationally and also internationally is Papua. So when we write our title by putting the research location Papua, so some readers will interest to uh, read our article to know what happened, what exactly happened in Papua, for instance. But when the research location is not interested, or it is unfamiliar location, so try to delete the name of location in from our article. Yeah, it is about the article. Yeah, then next about how to write abstract and also keyword. The abstract must consist in factual. It is 120 to 215. Uh, Most of the journal will require the abstract must be 20 to 215. Yeah. And then the abstract must consist of research objective or the purpose of the research. We try to write it briefly. It means that the research we don't explain or we don't write whole of the research procedure in our abstract. And then the main result or conclusion priority, main result. Avoiding to write whole or all the result of our study in the abstract. Because some reader, when they already find the result of our study, all the result of our study in the abstract, in our abstract, reader will not read whole the article. So try to put the main result of our study in the abstract. Not write the whole result of our research in the abstract. Or the main finding or the contribution here of our study. And then avoiding quote from the in the abstract and avoiding using abbreviation. Uh, uh, Here I give you the uh, general, the common abstract used uh, by the author. Uh, the author will start by explaining the purpose or the aim of the study. Yeah, this is the general saying. The article describes the teaching strategies used in multi-grade classes. Yeah, the writer or the author start by writing his objective of study, and then two main types of strategy were identified. Is that one, aim to reduce, or two, capitalize the students' heterogeneity. This is uh, the what the research or the method, the simple method or simple procedure written by the author, and then he write the result of his study, and also the contribution of the study. But you know that good abstract will start by writing or by explaining a little bit about the background of study. Yeah, perhaps you can write about one line of the paragraph here. Yeah, here we will give some. We will give a short background of the research. Yeah. So why we try to describe the teaching and strategies used in multi-grade class. The first things that we have to begin by short background of the study. So the short background before the aim of our study. For instance, I will write here uh, the, the I will write here a short background for this abstract by stating by writing that multi-graded classes has different students, different students background or students capabilities, and then I will write my purpose, my objective of the study. Yeah. So the abstract must be 120 up to 215. All the journal will require this, but most of the journal require 215 word in the abstract. Yeah, and then it must be consist of a short background of our study, and then the objective of or the purpose of our study, and then if we have a procedure, we will describe it briefly, and then the main or the core or the main finding of our study. Do not write the whole of our finding, but try to write the important or the novelty that make the reader will try to read the whole of our article. And then in abstract, avoiding by using quotes and also by using abbreviation in abstract. And then the keyword must be consist of 5 to 6 words. The keyword means that we have to put the novelty or some interested or the sign or the specific or the criteria of our article. The keywords help the reader, the other reader or researcher to find our article. For instance, when my research result find that the online learning model is multi-blended learning, so I will put in the keyword is multi-blended learning. So when you googling on the internet, via the internet, you the researcher or the other writer, when Googling, they write multi-blended learning. So this article uh, will uh, specify that belongs to this one, because when we write in search engine, for instance, we write blended learning, so there are many article, there are many web page will appear in our laptop about blended learning, because it is not specific. But when we in our keyword, for instance, multi-blended learning, so when we googling it, yeah, specifically will find this article belongs to this author. Yeah. So keyword is the specific sign or criteria be easy for the reader to find our article. Yeah. So make it specific. Try to specify our keyword to make the specification of our study, and the reader will find it easily. Yeah. This is about abstract keyword. Next, about introduction. The some of the writer will find difficulty in starting the writing, especially in writing introduction. This part is important in the article. When the introduction is interested, uh, explaining explaining clearly about the phenomena, and also what the urgency of the study and the objective of the study. So the journal reviewer will not give some comment in this part, because it is already described the urgency of the study. So in writing an introduction, there are some trick to write a good introduction. For instance, when I, when I write the article about blended learning at International University, we try to find the keyword of this title. Yeah, try to find the keyword of the title. Blended learning. Yeah, this could be the keyword of our topic. So make blended learning as the keyword, and try to find the reason why blended learning. Make a question why blended learning. Try to make question why blended learning. Then you try to find many answer to answer this question. Yeah. For instance, I find the answer is because recently the whole world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, blah blah blah. And then I find another answer, that because some previous related study indicated blah blah blah. And the third answer, I found that based on the preliminary study, or based on the review uh, study at that university, I found that blah blah blah. And then in the last of the answer, we describe the urgency of the study. So based on those reasons above, yeah, the researcher will study, because is very urgent problem. It is very urgent to solve the problem. Yeah. So after finishing, after writing the answer of the question why, then we delete because, the word because in each of our answer. Yeah. Automatically, all the answer will become in a good introduction. So when we delete because, so you know that paragraph will automatically manage itself. Like recently, the whole world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic and blah 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 up to the end of the paragraph. And then a new paragraph will explain some previous related study indicated that blah blah blah. For instance, Richard stated Richard find blah Richard or Oxford find, yeah, previous related finding of our study. And then also based on our first observation or our preliminary study or based on our first interview in the object of our study, what we got there, and try to find many reasons, many answers to answer why blended learning, why blended learning. In the end of uh, our paragraph, we will explain the urgency of the study based on those background, based on those answer. So this problem is urge to be studied because, yeah, blah blah blah, because blah blah blah. When this problem is not resolved, so it will become worse and worse again. Become worse and worse again. Yeah. So, and we can also explain about the objective of the purpose of our study. Yeah. Just try to describe describe the objective of our study, to solve the problem, solve the reason above, problem of the reason above. So introduction, of course, we try to explore the procedures in additional to general purpose. It's necessary to explain the specific purpose. If any other specific purpose, we try to explain the specific purpose, not the general purpose. I try to find also the specific purpose, yeah, objective, and the background of the study by writing why, by asking why, uh, asking why, asking why uh, about the blended learning or about the keyword of the title. Yeah, asking why the blended learning, asking why the keyword, and try to find out many answer. Try to find many answer of this question. Then we will find the gap between expectation and reality. The theory mentions that the blended learning, the online learning should be applied in this in the modern school. But what happened in reality is that some teachers applied the blended learning in the traditional school. So there is a gap between expectation and also the reality, and try to gain the actual data. And that side, it means that uh, the previous researcher did not find or did not try to solve this side of this problem. And then uh, avoid details of data or result of previous research. Yeah, you know that some of students in AS2 in master degree or doctoral degree, when they write about fields related study, will find the abstract or the conclusion of the study, then they cook and paste it in their thesis or dissertation. So avoiding by putting or writing the whole of previous related study result, but try to find the core or the main point of the previous study, and then uh, research urgency. So yeah, in the end of writing introduction, so the researcher the writer will uh, write about why this problem is important to be studied, and the of the result if the researcher not conduct or not studied this problem. So yeah, this is introduction. So when writing about introduction, we know that there are two models of introduction. Yeah, when we came from the positivism or quantitative method approach that we use in our research, so the best model of introduction that I could use is uh, by deficiencies model. Deficiencies model is appropriate for the quantitative approach, quantitative research, because the writer or the researcher will fight or explain briefly about the deficiencies of the previous study in this field. So it's easy for the researcher to find the gap between all the previous researchers. Yeah, the second model is by phenomenology model. So it is adopted by qualitative method. When we research uh, using qualitative method, or we use uh, qualitative approach, so the better model we use is called by phenomenology model of introduction. Yeah, we explain about the situation and the phenomena occurred in our society, for instance, and the problem happened and why this problem could not be solved. Yeah, we mostly in this model, the writer will explain much about the reality happened, or the uh, empirical happened in society. Yeah, but uh, adopted the when we adopted the uh, mixed method, yeah, of course we can combine between the deficiencies model and phenomenology model in introduction, in writing our introduction. So the deficiencies model of introduction mostly used for the quantitative method, while the phenomenological model of introduction used by qualitative method. But when you conduct a research by using mixed methods, so you can combine between both of introduction types. Yeah, this is discussion about introduction. And about literature review. So literature review, we have to write about the relevant primary references sources. So the recent research journals or books or last 3 up to 10 years. But better is the up-to-date references. Uh, better is the up-to-date references we use in writing the article, in writing our research report. So, but some of the journal required from 5 years, last of 5 years. Yeah, the up-to-date references from journals or book is the better. Yeah. Or the most of the reference we use is up-to-date reference. Try to find up-to-date reference by by using application or using Mendeley or Zotero or another program. And then literature review, writing our literature review did not mean that we write or we copy and paste from another book, but we try to write the core of the main point of the uh, main point of the references from the journal or from the book, and try to paraphrasing it, paraphrase the core of the finding, and then try to find what called by state of the art. State of the art means that we try to explain in our writing about the differences between diffuse research and what we will try to research it. And then we explain the things that have not been touched, have been not researched by previous researcher. Yeah. State of the art, it will make the research, it will give it, it will easy for the researcher to find the gap between the previous research finding and what research will conduct research. And then systematic and measurable means that literature that we use in our research article, this should be expanded on theory or result of previous research, not repeat the same result of the study. At the background of the article discussed in the introduction and lay the groundwork for further work. Yeah, so we try to write our literature review here systematic and measurable. Next, about method. Some journal will require method, some others will use material, but exactly the method and also material is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same, but it is called by publication style of the journal. So some journal will require the material, some journal will require method. So in method or in material, we will write details about in full clear research procedure from the beginning of the process to the end of the research. And also we try to describe in detail steps that are sufficient to allow the research to be reproduced or replicated by other or further researcher. And this method must be indicated by references on the relevant modifications to describe. Uh, Here, the author or the writer will explain briefly about design used in study, and then the object and subject, and explain about procedure of data collection. It is different between writing this procedure in method part and in method in our abstract. In abstract, the method is briefly, but in method part here, we describe all the procedure of our data collection and technique of data analysis. So we break it down, we explain it clearly about our procedure in our research. Yeah. Some reviewers will give many comment in this part by suggested also to make clear about uh, how to uh, select the informant of the research, how to select the respondent, what technique used in selecting the respondent, and then the technique or the instrument used in collecting the data, uh, what instrument used to gain this data, and also how to analyze the data gained by this instrument. So the author have to write clearly about this method. Yeah, some author will describe, always will write only brief about the research method, and it will be commented. Yeah, of course, the journal reviewer will give many comments in this part of our article. So try to make our method or material is clear. When we write it briefly, but it must be detailed and clear. Try to make it detailed and clear. So we can try by writing that this research applied quantitative method. Yeah, by using, for instance, quantitative by using experimental design, for instance, and then uh, object and subject. Yeah, we try to write about how to select the sample of the study, even the technique that we use in selecting the respondent. Yes, such as random, simple random, or cluster, or proportional. Yeah, we have to explain it detailed and clear, and then how to collect data, such by questionnaire or by testing, oral testing, written test. We have to describe, we have to explain detail and briefly. Yeah. For instance, this test used to measure the students' ability in blah blah blah. Yeah. And then the test consists of the test contain of this. So you have to write it in detail and also clearly. Also about the technique of data analysis, so we have to explain it in detail and clear. When we write this part in our article, so the journal reviewer will not comment in this part, but when we only write a short explanation about this method, of course, this part will give many comments from journal reviewer. So this part is very important in our article. When we read about result and discussion of our article, yeah, research result must be concise and clear, and also the discussion should explore the importance of research result, not repeat them. Means that uh, some researcher will repeat their research result from this one topic to one topic, and then he just repeat same result. Result and discussion section can also be combined into one sub. Some journal require to for the writer or for the author to write the result in one sub, and also discussion in one sub of topic. Yeah, it is separated between result and discussion, but some other journals also could be combine between result and discussion in one part of the subtopic, and then avoiding extensive citation and discussion of published literature. Yeah, result and discussion. Yeah, we have to write it first, our result clearly. Some author, in writing the result of his study, yeah, it is very commonly uh, writing about the result. Try to go to the point, try to explain the point of the result. If we use the questionnaire, for instance, yeah, let's present the result of the questionnaire that we gain from our data, not write about theory or previous related finding in this part. Yeah. In result, not put the references or discuss much about theory, but in result of our article, we try to write about the core of the point of the result that we find in our research, such from from the uh, observation or interview or the questionnaire. Yeah, so we present it in table or in graph. Yeah, it could be in graph. And then we discuss, in part of discussion, we discuss in the discussion part, we just write about the core of the result, and then try to elaborate it with the theories or with the previous related findings, and then after elaborating those things, that we try to draw the conclusion or the what the perspective of the researcher. So the researcher tried to interpret the elaborating data between his result and also previous result by the researcher, and then draw the conclusion. He interpret them and then conclude the uh, discussion. Yeah, because mostly we find that the author or the writer will explain more the theory in the result section. Yeah, actually they have to explain the result, the finding of the study, such the data from the instrument used in the study, or uh, and then in the discussion subtopic, discussion part, eh, the author will write the core finding and then try to elaborate his finding with the theories or previous related finding, and then try to interpret data. And the last thing is summarize or make some conclusion of his discussion part. And then about the conclusion shows the main conclusion of the study can be presented in a brief conclusion section, which can stand alone or form of subsection of the discussion or result and discussion section. Yeah, some of the author will copy and paste the conclusion in the discussion to the part of this conclusion. But some journals did not require conclusion, but the need in the last of the article is implication of the study. What the implication, such as theoretical implication, what is the theoretical implication of our study, and then to the field of this expectation or the field of field study, and what is the implication of methodological. Yeah, for instance, when in our research we apply also another methodology, so we can write and explain about methodological implication in this section of our conclusion, or managerial implication also. but most of the journal need conclusion in this part. So the conclusion doesn't mean that we have to copy and paste what we conclude in our discussion into this part, but we try to make it then a brief conclusion section. It could be the whole of our study, not about the conclusion of the discussion, but the whole of our study. Uh, and then the form of conclusion is easy form and not in numerical form. If we research by applying quantitative method or approaches that has an hypothesis. So in our finding, of course, we presented the test of our hypothesis, and also we discuss it in a discussion part about result of testing about our hypothesis. So in this part, in this conclusion part, not repeat the numerical of our hypothesis in this conclusion, because some authors, some writers will write or will repeat what they discuss in result and also discussion in this conclusion. So do not put the numerical form in the conclusion. Do not repeat the result of hypothesis test, hypothesis discussion in the part of discussion in this part of conclusion. And the content of the conclusion, yeah, then the implication of research finding or suggestions that refer to practical actions or theoretical development and further research. So perhaps you will give some suggestion for the further research. Yeah, the suggestion for the further research, it means that you have many difficult or many problems that could not be solved, or there are other side from your research did not discuss it well, so you give some suggestion for another for the further researchers to research it. Yeah, this is about the conclusion. Yeah. In our article also we have to put acknowledgement here. Then we write down the names of people who have helped the research process. Most is who will who fund this research, helping in writing, and proofreaders help improve language. Yeah, so not put the do not write about, for instance, the people or the institution that have not contribution in our research. So when our institution fund our research, give the money for our research, so in acknowledgement, so we have to thanks that this research funded by this institution, or this research helping by this institution, or in writing in our article before publishing, so we can also mention about people who help us in writing and make some proofread of our article, because many researcher, many writer, author from the Asian, especially Indonesia, got many difficult to write a good sentences, good paragraph in English, so they need some help from a native speaker, and also proofread by the native speaker or institution. Today or recent day that there are many institutions provided help for the author to improve their language, article language, and also to help them in writing their article, or to make their article good to be published. And also some journal also will give fast fast track. Yeah, it means that give some uh, give some what it's called by giving help for non-native of English language to publish their article. So this help also, of course, will have a cost that that the author or the writer will pay to the institution. Yeah, and also we will try today that Cambridge also provide the proofreader, and many institutions provide proofreader help non-native of English language to write a good article in English. Even today, there are many applications that be applied by non-native speaker of English to improve their article, such by using Grammarly or by using Quillbot to paraphrase their article to make their uh, article language good, their English language in article good. But yeah, you know that the application also have disadvantages, and the most comment from the reviewer for the author or the writer from Indonesia, especially uh, try find a native speaker to improve your language, or try to proofread your article by an expert in English. Yeah, this comment is general uh, by the author of English. So we got many difficult in writing in English well. So we need some help from uh, non from native speaker and also proofread by the institution. Yeah, it is by it is should be read by the author in the article in the part of acknowledgement. Pre-article writing lesson, we can get it easy uh, from the Scopus, of course. This is of course free. So this is academy provided by Scopus, yeah, Elsevier, to the uh, writer or the author and also researcher. This about the lesson that could be followed, could be joined by any other person in the world. This material, this lesson is free, so it will start by research preparation. So we can create an account here, and then we sign in. Then we try a lesson start from research preparation. What should we have? What should be prepared in writing the article and writing for research. Then also the lesson about publication process, navigating peer review, and communicating our research. Yeah, this lesson is free for any of us can create an account and then try to sign it and follow or join this lesson. This lesson is very important for us as a writer, as an author, as a researcher to make to write uh, to publish our writing research report. So this is a lesson, yeah, very easy, and every lesson has its own test. When we pass from one lesson, the Research Academy of Elsevier will give us a certificate. So this is free. You can get a certificate from joining this module, this lesson. Yeah. And then about searching the journal or searching the reputable journal to publish our research. So there are many strategies, there are many steps to find a reputable journal to publish our research. Yeah, we can search the journal from Scopus, yeah, of course, Scopus, and then we try to clarify it or Web of Science, and then by using Simago journal ranking, yeah. it will easy for us to find the journal by log into Scopus, or yeah, for instance here when we open the Scopus site, then we try to find the source. Yeah, by clicking the source after opening the Scopus website, we click the source and then enter the title of the journal. Or if we don't know about the journal name, yeah, we can write by subject area. We can choose by subject area. For instance, here I choose subject area. Here, for instance, we'll find a journal scope in education, for instance. Yeah, education. Then result of educational journal will appear in this site. Then we can click the journal. We can click directly the journal name to go to the journal page, and then we read about the guideline of the journal, scope and the content of the journal, and the process of publication in this journal. Also, perhaps you can see who are the editorial member of journal, the reviewer also. Yeah, so it means uh, that we try to find an easy one, easy reviewer to review our article, to publish our article in that journal, but we try to find an expert in this field of study, for instance, here in education. So we will find the editorial team, reviewer of the journal, and then the guideline. So when we already know about the journals. For instance, I will uh, check I will check the journal in Scopus. For instance, uh, Helion journal. Yeah, I put Helion, then try to find Helion. Yeah, so this Helion, when we click the journal, we will see the score, the impact factor, SGR of the journal, impact factor of the journal here. So, and we will see about the journal. So when you like will go to the journal, just click here, and then the boss will bring you the journal homepage to read about the journal carefully in detail. Yeah, this is the journal. Yeah, it is how to find the reputable journal. So we can use the Scopus, because today when we talk about reputable journal, it is about Scopus, the journal indexed by Scopus, and journal indexed by Web of Science or Clarified. Yeah, in the past it called by Thomson Reuters, but it already by Web of Science. So to find the journal indexed by Web of Science, we can go to this website, and then here, for instance, I will find the alien journal that indexed in Web of Science. So yeah, yeah, you can see about the journal. So Helion journal is a reputable journal because it's already indexed in Scopus and also indexed in Web of Science. So it is reputable. So when we try to find it's a reputable journal, also we can go to the Chimago journal ranking by open this page, and then try to put the name of the journal here, and then we click search, find the journal in Chimago journal ranking. Chimago journal ranking, yeah, here we find that Helion is journal, and then we click the journal. After clicking the journal, we try to find its impact factor, index of the journal, and also here we find that it got a 46 of H index. It means that this journal is good, and then we go to see the citation of the journal, scientific, and then yeah, the reputable journal, of course, we can see by quartile touch in Scopus and also in Chimago journal rank here. So reputable journal is quartile 1 or P1. So it's called by reputable journal or P2. Yeah, this uh, help us to find reputable journal, because today there are many journal or many hijack journal or that make many costs for the writer, for the author to pay. So and also some of hijack journal that has the same website, same name of the journal. Uh, they try to manipulate author to be paid most cost, likely cost to pay publication fee. Yeah, so it will help us to find reputable journal and avoid from manipulate by another person. Just enter the Scopus and try to find, or you will see about uh, list the list of which continue in Scopus. For instance, here we'll find that this journal covered from 2015 up now to present. It's still indexed by Scopus, so this journal is safe to be published. Yeah, so the author must be fine, reputable, and avoiding from other manipulation from other person in publish their article. So we can use Scopus and also Web of Science. So this by clicking this both website, we will find reputable journal or two reputable journal. Yeah, this the journal also, the journal of Helion also indexed by Web of Science. So it's the same when you try to go to the journal web page, just click here and it will bring us to the journal page. Yeah, it is the help find the reputable journal to be publish our article. Yeah. So the next I have some tips. Uh, some tips in writing the article, because as I explained before that many of the author will get the difficult in writing to write begin right in writing of the article. So this tip should be this tips will help us in writing our article, so drafting our article according to the important points, and then obey the principle. Must be in accordance with line and systematic of writing, or read article that have been published, and then choose up-to-date and innovative topics according to the research field you are engaged in. Try to have novelty and innovation. evaluation along with the writing team or proofreader, submit article to the indexed journal or reputable journal, and never get boredom or feeling stupid for sharing. Yeah, because some of the author will feel that the article is a good article and appropriate to be published, but uh, they are feel that they are smart, they are clever more than other. They never share about the idea about how to write by their friends, their friends, or some of their friends expert in this field or expert in the publication. Also share with some professor about the topic and also about result report. Uh, about the drafting article, of course, we will make some draft about introduction. What should I write in my introduction? By, as I explained before, try to find the keyword from our title and then make a question why of the keyword of our keyword why, and then try to find many answer to this question by uh, arrange it one by one, and to the point to the problem that we will research. Not talk much about unnecessary things in our introduction. So crafting the important things that what we should write in our abstract, and then what we write in our introduction, our literature review, how to explain the reviews related finding, and then try to state of the art of reviews related finding and what we start, and then in our method, what should be right in the method part and what in result in discussion and class of our article. And then, of course, do not feel boredom to see or to read the guideline of the journal, even if you have a if you got difficult in reading the guidelines, so you can uh, go to the one of article that published in that journal, try to read it, and then look at the form or the body of the article and try to follow that body, try to follow that example of the article, so it will make you easy to understand what explained by the editorial journal in guideline part. So by or some other journal will provide it the template of the journal, template of the article, so it is very easy for us to follow the template uh, without reading the guideline. By using that template, yeah, it will easy for us to understand the guideline of journal. And then, of course, choose up-to-date innovative topics according to the research. So try to use the post viewer or try to use open knowledge map. Open knowledge map, the free one that I explained before. Try to use it. Try to employ it in your research if you study, and then try a small cycle. Try open a small cycle. A small cycle means that the some or a few researchers already studied, but when you try to use open a large cycle, biggest cycle, so it is easy for us when you conducted a quantitative study by using a deficiencies model of introduction that I explained before, and then uh, try to review the previous related findings so you can find the gap between the previous related study and easy for you to find the new of your study and it will bring you to get the novelty in the end of your study. You will get the novelty of your study that will something new innovation in this field of study. And then evaluate evaluate self-evaluation. Is this article, is this research is good or not? And and also discuss with your team, research your team, and also with your friends, and try to submit in reputable journal, because uh, index it of our institution or our nation also is depend today from the indexed journal. So our national ranking, our nation rank will be based on the reputable publication in reputable journal. And then never forget, feel, feel stupid for sharing. So uh, try to be humble, try to be a good one, and not feel that you are smart from other. Because when we write an academic writing or article, research article, it means that the reader of our article has has uh, expertise more than the writer. So the journal reviewer, that journal reviewer is more expertise from the author and or the writer. So do not feel that you are smart, but try to share with your friends, your professor, or a native speaker that you know from the internet, or some places. Yeah, this is the tips that will uh, make you manage your article well till you publish your article. Yeah, I think that's all my presentation about the writing publishing article in reputable journal. And if you have any question, if you have any suggestion, we will discuss it further in the discussion section. Thank you very much, and I will back to the moderator. Thank you, moderator. Back to you. Hello.
Yes, Doctor. That was indeed a thought-provoking talk on the concepts, Doctor. Thank you for imparting your knowledge and remarks on writing publishable articles in reputed journals. Your examples were fascinating, and the slides you showed gave us a clear understanding that we couldn't have gained in any other way. On behalf of QA Research and Publications, I extend our gratitude for sharing and sparing your time and thoughts with us. Thank you once again, Doctor.
I think you're welcome.